Part 3? Who's got part 3? What'd you catch? Could you catch anything? Some feedback for her. Want to see it again? Okay, see if you can multitask here of watching what she's doing, but also, you know, and the thing is that, you know, start thinking to yourself, what are the objectives of this excerpt? Okay, specifically, what are the objectives of this excerpt? Okay, so objective 1 is what? Okay, you could say style, but what's the first thing you have to do? What kind? What kind of fractional? A fractional beat entrance. So that's the first thing. Okay. Now the second objective would be tempo, because here we are, we're playing fast. Okay. Which means, as players, you have to catch everything. Did you catch the tempo right away? Was there leadership there? Okay. So I'm looking at it in terms of chronological. You know, what do we do first, and then what do we do? So it's you know, there's that. Now you think of some stylistic things, okay? Especially measure 5, measure 6, downbeat. You know, is the stress there? Are you seeing that? Okay. So I want you to play to what you see. Okay. So you have to adjust your stance, Well, let's watch and really see, instead of verbally saying, hey, do this. You know, is that happening? Okay, go ahead. Okay, comments from you guys now. Give her some feedback. Got it.
I didn't feel like accents there.
And this is what I'm looking for. This, you know, the first time it was very, very nice. But I still say engage the left hand. Because the left hand is the expressive hand, but it's also this. It's the hand it's the neon light that says, watch. Something's happening. So yeah, you could go, dia, 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 da, da, da. You could do that, okay? But to make sure everyone's catching it, dia, dia, da, 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 da. And we have that. That's the purpose of the left hand, okay? So yeah, so there's that. Other comments? Will?
To me, it looks like on her beat 1, like the baton is staying down instead of rebounding up. I don't know if you disagree, but I think it should rebound up, back up again, just a little bit in the check part.
The thing is, and I don't like whenever the stick is lower than the hand. That's very difficult to go ahead and see.
Right.
You know, we'll have to look at your video. Okay. So this we don't want. But here's the thing: is that if we do this type of gesture, and we've got that, you know, this slowing it down, it's this thing, right? Okay, then it's very difficult to read anything. Schulte, when he was with CSO, and I watched many, many times, when he would have a presto 2, this is what Schulte would do. 1, 2, 1, 2. And it reads very clear. Okay? Because what happens is we don't have that overlap. You know, it's kind of like, what's 1, what's 2? Once you stop looking and you look up, trying to catch where are we at. If you don't control that rebound, that's a real problem. Okay? So, so I really like your leadership in terms of it's clear. 1, 2, that's nice. I think the style is appropriate. I think the dynamic element is nice, but it's kind of stale. You know, because you wouldn't play it that way. Okay, so now this has to represent what your air and your tongue is doing. Okay, and then you can get that. And don't be afraid to get outside of the pattern. Why don't you step up and watch? Okay, let's try this. Okay. And really, if you think about that, if you were to kind of like just, you know, go, isn't that what your air would be doing? Yeah. And that's the thing I really, really believe, is that you have to go ahead and do that. It's like when I conduct a symphony orchestra, when I first started conducting them, I had some good friends, and I'm conducting that typical band style, this. And I'm hearing a scratchy sound. And finally I had some violin players come up to me and say, hey, Joe, you know, you gotta lighten up. We're just following what you're doing. And so good players will actually react to this. And so think that, use your musicianship on that, okay? Here's what I'd like for you to do, is a concert aid, okay? And I want you to play 8 notes, and react to what I'm doing, okay? Here we go, ready? Okay, do that. Only you will know, are you getting what you want? And there's that dynamic interaction that has to happen between you and the players. Think when you teach a private lesson, okay? Sometimes you'll actually go ahead and give a gesture, won't you? Okay? Same thing here. Okay? Go ahead and just do that. Concert aids, 8 notes. Okay, now we get outside our comfort zone. Okay, now what I want you to really think about is okay, here's this excerpt. Okay, now listen carefully. You were listening, you know, and you were making some adjustments, because whether it's you were adjusting to what you were hearing or just, okay, I'm going to try and accent more. Okay, now play with the baton. Okay? And all of you have to be doing this. Now, how are you going to practice this too? You're not going to use the audio class. You're going to sing. Okay? And basically, the best thing you can do is sing or play exactly the way you want it. And I would tell you, go ahead, just like whenever I'm studying a score, I'll take this and I'll say, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and work on this bass line. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll sing it. Okay, and then I'm going to look at this. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm using that as different gestures. And then I'll go to the melody. And that's what you need to do on that. Okay, there's a lot of really good things here, but the whole idea is not that you look like you did in the second evaluation. Now there's a substantial work. Okay? And you can do it, just need a little more practice. All right, thanks. I talked a little bit about objectives. I'm passing this out to you. The only thing I'm going to say is I'm going to make a couple of minor changes.